Good morning, Tehmina Khan is here in TK Maths S1. In today's video, I will explain to you a concept of normal distribution, which is a part of the syllabus of A-Level Mathematics S1. The code is 9709 and it is paper number 5. You can see here my website address and my blog address, and you will find many useful videos over here, which will help you in your learning journey of learning. So let's begin. I have made overall 4 videos on normal distribution. So if you will see completely all 4 videos, you will get the complete concept of the topic. The link of the other videos is present in the description below. So this is the syllabus of the CIE, which is the requirement to fulfill. I have put this into pointers here. These are the pointers we have to cover, or the concepts we have to cover. So one by one we will see. First of all, we will see what is normal distribution, how to read the table, how to change any normal variable given in X, and if probability is given, then how to find Z. And then at the end, if the question is given in binomial distribution and you want to use normal as an approximation, then how you will use it. Right now you may not understand, but one by one we will see. So in the first video, I am only showing you what is normal distribution and how to read Z table, standardized normal distribution table. So this is what we will see in video number 1. So first of all, normal distribution, if you see, because whatever topic you are studying, you should know about it, what it is all about. So it is a very good model for many situations which occur in natural sciences. And the important thing about it, the data you collect, very few values are very small and very few values are very large. Most of the values are concentrating in the middle. And we will see the shape of the graph in a while. So if we look at the example of normal distribution, I have just taken 2 examples here. So for example, if we are talking about height of adults, male or female in a country or in an area, similarly time taken by students to complete a task. So things like this. And normal distribution is applied in continuous data. So we have studied 2 types of data in earlier videos. We have seen discrete data and continuous. So normal distribution is used for continuous data. Here are some properties of it, just for your information, that the graph of the normal distribution is like a bell-shaped graph. Both ends are infinite, and in the peak it is mean, and you can see here 95% data is covered by 2 standard deviation of the mean. If you don't know this thing, you don't need to know as such, but you understand K 2 times the standard deviation. If you get the value and add and subtract from both sides of the mean, the area covered under that is 95% of the probability. Anyway, this was extra information. So now we will see if the X random variable is normally distributed and we have mean mu and standard deviation sigma, then we write normal distribution like this. So this is a general form of writing it. And mu and variance are your parameter for the distribution. Now, what is this probability density function? If any situation is given to you, I will just show an example to you, and you have to find a probability, and you know the mean and variance of that thing. If you plug in here and integrate this function, you will get the probability. But the point here is, do you know how to integrate this function? It's not a part of the syllabus also, it is not taught at this level. So that's why we use another mean to find the, another way to find out the probability, and we will discuss that. So basically this is your probability density function. So for example, this is the question given to you, right? We are talking about, I'm just trying to give this example, I will not solve it, to make a connection to what we are talking about here. So for example, we are talking about somebody's jogging in the park, and this is the mean time and this is the variance of the time. And we have to find out the probability that the person will take longer than 14 minutes. Now, if I'm saying X is greater than 14 and mean is 12. So in the diagram, mean will be in the center because this graph is symmetrical graph. It is 12, 14 is here. So according to this question, part 1, we are interested to find out the probability here. this probability. X is greater than 14. But the point here is we don't know how to integrate this function. So even if I know mean, I know variance, I know the value of X, if I plug in all these values here, will I be able to integrate it? No, because I don't know how to integrate it. So we will see how do we handle these type of situations then. So first of all, just look at few notations so that you can understand what we are talking about. So probabilities we get, which are the areas under the curve. If it is written X is less than X1, right? X is your random variable and this is the value of random variable. So less than, it means left hand side. Now X1 is just written here randomly. It could be here also. For example, I write X1 here. So that depends on the situation what we are talking about, right? Either it will come here or here, we will see it later. And here, if it is saying X is greater than S2, now suppose X2, the value is here, I'm interested in the area on the right hand side because I'm saying greater than. If I say the X is, the probability of X is in between X1 and X2, then the area comes or covered between two values will be my probability. So this is a general understanding of the notation, okay, which area of the diagram you have to find out. And we will see it later in a while. So it's not all easy to calculate these values of X. I have told you the formula we don't know. So we use the table of probabilities, which is given to us, and it is called standard normal distribution, right? That special table is around a special distribution where mean is 0 and variance is 1. And the table looks like this. How we will read it, I will let you know. All these written here inside, forget about the first row and first column. This is all probability here. This is first decimal place. You can see it is written Z. So what is Z? We will see in a while. And we will see how to read this table. Now here it is the relation which helps you to find out connection between Z and X. Like I took the example a little while ago that a person is jogging in a park. So the value of X was given to us here, that he's taking more than 14 minutes. But I will change it into Z to be able to read this from the table, right? So we will see how to read it and how to convert it in few examples here. And it is called Z-score. So I hope you understand that actually the question is an X random variable, but we have to change it into Z-score so that we can read the probability from the table, right? So the first task is how to read this Z value. So for example, I'm just giving you here a few hints, then I will explain you in detail. For example, it is written Z is the variable and a standard form, of course, Z is representing it, and normal distribution is 0, 1. Of course, for the standard, it is 0 mean and 1 variance. And you have to find out this probability, Z less than 0. Now on this number line, the mean is at 0. Here you will have plus value 1, 2, 3. And similarly here, 1, minus 2, and so on, right? So if question says Z less than 0, it means this whole area which is here is 50%, because the whole graph is divided into two equal parts. It is a symmetrical graph. So you can say, okay, probability 0.5, right? If it will say probability of Z greater than minus 0.5, now because it is saying minus, I know the Z value will be on this side because this side is negative Z and this side of 0 is positive Z, just like a number line. So when question says Z is greater than minus 0.5, it means this area. But very important thing, when you read from the table, I will teach you how, the probability is always given to you for the left hand side area, always. So in this question, if I have to find out the area which is on the right hand side of this Z value, then actually I have to find the area on the left hand side from the table. But again, there is a problem. Z value is in negative. And in the table, negative Z values are not given to you. If I show you here, see, these are Z values. No negative value is given to you. So you can only read the Z values if they are positive. Then we use the concept of symmetry. If you look at this diagram and this diagram, so if I have minus 0.5 here, then I will have 0.5 here plus 0.5. And this area will be equals to this area. Agreed? So whenever you will have negative z given, you will use symmetry concept and find out the probability accordingly. So in this case, I will find out probability of z less than 0.5, which is equal to this case. Right? You don't need to learn this by heart. You will understand the concept and you can apply it in any situation. And we will see here. Now, second situation, if you have to find out the probability of the right-hand side and your z is plus, right? Like I said, you cannot read the probability from the table of the right-hand side, right, of z value. So when you will read it from the table, you will get this probability. And 100% probability is 1. We know that. So I will do 1 minus probability of this value of z, which is written like this, right? If I write here probability of z less than, let me call it z1, then I have to minus it from 1 because table will read left-hand side area. I hope this basic concept is clear to you. So now let's go to the examples. Whatever I have explained is just written all over here again. You can put the video on pause if you want. The notation, if it is written phi z, it simply means probability of z less than whatever the value is here. Let me call it a, for example. It means I'm talking about this. So the meaning of this notation is this, right? And in normal distribution, we do not use equals to. It's the same thing. Right? Because we are talking about area of the left hand side or right hand side, not underneath. There is no area underneath of a number. So let's see how to read this table. So now we will see at least 3 types of examples, and later on in the videos, we will use them one after the other. Now, first, you should know how to read it. It is told to you that normal distribution is of a standard in the standard form, mean is 0, variance is 1. You have to get a probability of, let me just hide so that you do not get distracted. So you have to find probability of z less than 0.85. Now you are getting a clear hint from here that your z is positive. So I have drawn here roughly 0.85. Less than mean left hand side area. So I need to find out this area. So this thing can be written like this, okay? Just another way of writing it. So from the table, I will read 0.85. Now, if you see here, this side gives you first decimal place of z. From here till here, it is second decimal place of z. And this is third decimal place of z, right? This is the table given to you in exam also. So if you have to find the probability for z value less than 0.85, so you will go at 0.8. and you will go at 5 and you will read from here and from here the value, which is 0.8023. So you have written the probability is 0.8023 because z was positive and table has positive z values and table gives us left hand side area. No problem, easy question. Now here I am saying right hand side area, and I have just told you that you cannot get the right hand side area from the table. So how will you do it? You will read against this value, which will be this, and minus it from 1 because 100% area under the curve is 1. So whenever you have positive z and you have to find out the right hand side area, you will actually read from the table the left hand side area and minus it from 1. Right? Now, let's see another example. Now, why I have taken this example especially, 3 decimal places, right? In the previous example, there were only 2 decimal places. And I want to teach you in the table how to read this third decimal place also and how to write it. So that's why I've taken this example. So suppose question is saying that z greater than 0.923. I'm changing this question. Greater than 0.923. So now I am interested in this area, right? And like I have told you, you can't get the right hand side area. So you have to find out this area, which is here, and minus it from 1. So let's see how we will read the table. 0.923. This is 0.9 and this is 2. So it is 0.8212. Let me write it here. 0.8212. This is 0.92. But question was saying 0.923. So I will go in the third decimal place. 3 is here. And in the same line, which is of 0.9, it is 8. So I will add 8 under the last digit. Right? So you will get 0.8220. This is your probability. Right? So 0.95 from here and then 3 from here. Sorry, 0.923. Sorry. 0.92 and then 3. So this is how you will write down your probability. Now just see how it is written, that to calculate this probability, you have to do 1 minus probability of this. So can you notice this line and this line? That's how do you write on the paper. And when you write it from there, you get 0.8220 and this is your answer. So I have told you how to calculate 3 decimal place z values. Now negative. I have just explained it to you, but once again, I have taken here 4 examples, 2 more are left. When you have to find the probability of any z value which is negative and greater than, you will use the concept of symmetry. 0.5 negative, and you will have positive 0.5 also. So this area, this whole area will be equals to this whole area. So in this case, these two terms are equal to each other. That's why it is written here that z greater than minus 0.5 is equals to z less than minus 0.5. And if we read it from the table, let me see here, it is coming 0.6915, 0.5. Let's check here. 0.5, there was no second digit, it means 0. So 0.6915 is my probability. So this is the case for 0.5, right? There is no second and third decimal place. Let's see this case. Z is less than minus 0.76. Now when you see minus, you know it is on the left hand side of the central value because negative z is here. And it is saying less than, it means left hand side area. Now we don't have negative z in the table. So we use symmetry of it. And symmetry of this is actually this part, right? So to find out this part, I will do 1 minus this. So when I will read the table, when I will read this table, I will use a concept of symmetry because this is equals to this. This is equals to this. And to find out this, I will minus it from 1. And this is called, this area is called probability of z greater than 0.76, right? This portion. And this portion is z less than minus 0.76, and they are equal. So that's why equals to symbol is here. I hope you understand this. Now last example. If you have to find out the probability which is between two limits, like here it is saying z is greater than minus 0.64 and less than 0.43. This is plus z, this is minus z. So roughly you will always sketch, right? This will give you an idea if you're interested in this area, this probability. Now, one thing we have learned in the previous example, when we read the probability against z value, we always get area of the left hand side. So if you do probability of z less than 0.43, you will get this whole area, agreed? And then you will minus probability of z less than minus 0.64. This will give you this area. So if you minus the two areas, you will get it. So to solve this question, I can say I will do probability of z less than 0.43 minus probability of z less than 0.64. Mostly students get confused, and in the class also they ask Miss, but here it is saying z less than minus 0.64, and here we have z greater than minus 0.64. Try to understand here the concept. We are talking about probability between two limits here. And here we are saying to get this probability, because table always read left-hand side values of probability, we will do this whole area minus this area to get it, right? So here is it. Okay, what I have just explained, exactly same thing is drawn here for the better understanding. That you will do this whole area, which is on the left-hand side of 0.43, minus this is small area. And exactly this is what I have written here, right? So this is exactly what I have written. And now in the previous examples, I have told you how to handle the negative case. You will use the concept of symmetry here. This so you can read very easily from the table. You will get it. But in this case, because if I draw here, once again, if you want to recall, this minus 0.64 will have a symmetry here, which is plus 0.64. When I will read the table, I will get this. But actually, I want this area, which is here. So that's why we will do 1 minus, right? So these results, which I have just explained with the help of logic, some people try to remember them in terms of formula. So if you have that type of mindset to learn the formulas, so you can pause the video here and learn these formulas for these particular conditions straight away, because most of the people forget formulas. So logic, if you apply, it's better to understand. So that's why I have written all the 4 cases here. You can apply them directly and learn it. And when z is same, how to handle it, you can see here also. Right? So thank you very much for watching this video. And in the next video, we will see the remaining part or the remaining concept of the chapter. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and share it with your friends if you think it is useful.